Greetings and happy hunting, guys. As you know, Twitch is officially a dead project, but with us well underway into 2020, I figured it would be a good time to go back, look at past failures, and learn to them. So, without further ado, let's cut this puppy open and see what happened. What went wrong? The first thing that I noticed was I fell into the Twitch gaming trap. The thing is, and this is why you don't want to fall into this trap, is everyone is gaming on Twitch. And that puts your chances at virtually nothing. Like less than 1 in a million, I think. And this is unless you already have a good following going into it, or you have experience before you go into it. For example, you worked in commercials, you worked heavily in sales, you went to college for creating content and building communities and stuff like that. Or you just straight up sold your soul to the devil. The first thing that I should have done, really, before jumping into Twitch was I should have really found something that was outside of the gaming world, and then I should have capitalized on that. But I will explain that later on. The second thing that I really noticed that I fell into was that I didn't capitalize on what worked. There was a couple streams where I did something like painting minis, or I did a fantasy world map, and those really worked. I should have read the numbers, and instead of going back to gaming, I should have focused more on doing that, because I could have capitalized on that, became known for painting minis and stuff like that, building up a community there, and then I could have sort of branched out a little bit more. By going back to gaming, I jumped from a very, very small pool into a really big pool, and that really killed me later on down the line. And here's kind of where I explain a little bit more. The third thing is I played the numbers wrong. When I started streaming full-time, I was under the knowledge that I should pick good games that are lower on the list. This way I could be dealing with a smaller bucket of crabs. However, I was wrong. And this is a real trap. And this is due to a few facts. The first one is everyone is streaming games. So even though, yes, you are going down to a smaller bucket of crabs, your chances, or my chances, were still 1 in a few thousand. So that's 1,000 people that I have to try and get across, or outperform. And that doesn't work for anything. And the second fact is it doesn't claim anything for you. And here's the thing. Yes, you at the same time you're dealing with a smaller bucket of crabs, but you're still just someone playing a game. You're not being known as someone who's like saying painting minis or doing sand painting or anything like that. You're still just playing a video game at the end of the day, and you're not really getting anywhere. Yeah, you may get 1 or 2 views or a follower or 2, but that's not where you want to be going. So, unless you have something to show, or you have some kind of skin to show, you're still just playing games at the end of the day, with a face cam, like everyone else. So, for point C on this, I didn't capitalize on what worked. And this is kind of where I'm explaining things for like the painting minis and whatnot. When I streamed the mini painting stream, there was only a handful of mini painters with a good viewership. So there was a good viewership of it, but there just wasn't as many like people streaming that. And when I did the mini painting video, or I did the fantasy map video, that dropped my chances, or my competition, down from 1 in thousands to about 1 in 20. I should have capitalized on that first, because I could actually build something there. That was actually taking me out of this giant tank of sharks and putting me in the big blue ocean where I could do whatever I wanted. And I should have capitalized on that. Going forward, if when I go back into Twitch, not full time, but just a little bit, I'm most likely going to be doing something like painting minis or doing fantasy maps. Something that takes me out of that giant tank full of gaming sharks and then actually doing that right. Number 4, I fell into the community as family trap. I, like all new streamers when I started streaming, I fell for those really big stream channels that had almost family-like communities. However, I should have kept in mind that those communities are end-game communities for channels that have already made it. Starting out, I should have kept in mind that the people watching my stream are consumers, not family or friends. That the relationship was content creator, content consumer. And that's kind of a shitty thing, but that's just the truth of it. Yes, you will become, friends with some of the people in your streams, or for some of the people that frequent it, but for the most part, that relationship is creator-consumer. And unfortunately, this was something that I learned the hard way when my wife's paycheck started becoming garnished. And I found myself asking my Twitch community, end quotes. Wow, that was kind of a toxic thing to do, but okay. We'll keep going. For some kind of help, saying, hey, if we want to keep this alive, if we want to keep going, I need some kind of financial support. This is what's going on. Please help. And everybody scattered. So, and that hurt. Like, I won't lie, that hurt, because these are the people that I'd been streaming to for over a year, Monday through Friday. And then the moment that I needed some kind of help or something, they were just gone. So that's kind of something that it really taught me that, the Twitch community, the people that frequent your stream, is not your family. Yeah, some of them may become your friends, but the relationship there should be creator-consumer. And then going forward, I'm really going to keep that in mind. There was also something else that really bit me in the ass with this, but I'll get to that later on. Number 5, I didn't take care of myself first. I was throwing everything I had at it, thinking that if I created good enough content and I worked hard enough, that it was going to work. And sadly, this is not the case. It's shit, but it's true. The thing is I should have been more focused on taking care of myself, the things that I wanted to do, and making sure that everything was good here at home before I was throwing everything at, streaming 5 nights a week. So, I probably should have only been streaming like Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then keeping Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays open for myself, and my wife and stuff like that. When the stream failed, yes, it really hurt at first, because here was something that I put 5 nights a week in, or almost 5 nights a week in, for a complete year. Over a year, to see it just straight up fail in the fashion that it did. It really hurt, but after all that shock went away, I started noticing that a lot of my past passions and stuff like that were starting to come back. And in retrospect, if I wasn't throwing everything I had at it 5 nights a week, banging my head against the wall, I would have had all those other passions that I could do, and I would have had all those other options and abilities to step outside of the shark tank. So take care of yourself first, and that's something that I'm really going to keep in mind going forward. And if we eventually get back to Twitch, is I'm going to take care of myself first, do what I love, and then the Twitch thing is just either a job or it's just a hobby. It's not my life. The last thing was that I ran before I could walk. And here, let me explain. I got to the point where I was letting the community dictate the speed at which I set things up. For example, when I set up Discord, the only reason why I set up Discord is because the community was like, you need to set up a Discord and just do it. And I was like, no, we're not ready. And they're like, no, do it. So I set up a Discord. And what happened is virtually nobody used it. And that kind of really started me down this track of, where is everybody? Why isn't my community here? What am I doing wrong? And I was running before I could walk. I wasn't letting things grow organically, right? Like, in retrospect, if I had stuck to not creating a Discord and I let things grow organically and then I set everything up when we were actually ready to set things up, then things would have gone a lot better. I wouldn't have became so community oriented until there was actually a community there to worry about. And I know. All those numbers are all real people and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong there, but you have to consider I should have considered what was better for the stream, what I was doing, what I wanted to do, versus creating a Discord for a non-existent Twitch community. And yeah, I mean, that sounds mean, but that's the facts, guys. And the truth is, I was doing 24-hour streams and hot sauce streams way too early. I was setting up mods way too early. Instead of going in the direction that I wanted to go and actually setting things up when they needed to be set up, versus when the community was like, set up a Discord now, we want you to set up Discord and stuff like that. Next time, I should really focus on what I want to do, focus on letting things grow organically, and focus and not become 100% numbers dependent and community dependent way too early. Right now, that's all I really have on it. There's probably a bajillion other small things that I did wrong or that went wrong, but based off of what I've been able to find and see, these are the main points as to what went wrong with my streaming, and I will have to work on those. Yeah! So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. If you watched this, thank you very much. The next video will have to be up whenever I can, because I'm working 5 nights a week now, but take care, salutations, goodbye, au revoir, peace out, piss off. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.